Welcome to Mr. Joe's exclusive stories. Tonight, a woman walks into her anniversary dinner, expecting love. Instead, she finds her man laughing with another woman. But what happens next? It's darker, deeper, and far more heartbreaking than betrayal. Let's dive in. I spent the whole afternoon getting ready, hair curled, dress hugging me in all the right places, perfume soft but confident. It was our third anniversary, and I wanted to wow him. I even arrived a little late on purpose, imagining his smile when he saw me. I pictured him looking at his watch, a little worried, then relaxing when I walked in. Maybe he'd stand up, laugh, tell me I was worth the wait. Maybe he'd say, "You look like trouble," the way he always did when he liked what I was wearing. In my head, I'd replayed that moment a dozen times. But when I stepped into the restaurant, the air shifted. There he was, my man, sitting across from another woman. She was laughing, too comfortably. His head was tilted the way he leans in when he's trying to impress someone. And the rose he was supposed to hand me? Sitting right between them like a cruel joke. The restaurant buzzed around me, glasses clinking, cutlery chiming, soft music flowing, but everything else blurred. It was like God pressed slow motion on my life and mute on the world. My heart didn't break at once. It cracked slowly, like a glass under pressure. I stood there for a second too long, looking like a misplaced extra in someone else's love story. A waiter brushed past me, mumbling an apology, and that tiny contact pushed me forward. One step, another. With every step, my brain tried to protect me. Maybe she's his cousin. Maybe it's a work thing. Maybe he's planning a surprise, and I've ruined it by walking in at the wrong time. But my body knew better. My hands were shaking, my breathing shallow, my lips pressed so tightly together they hurt. I walked closer, legs trembling but chin lifted. He looked up, eyes widening like he'd seen a ghost. The woman turned too, confused, then nervous. "Baby, I can explain," he started, already half standing. But before he could finish, the woman spoke first, her brows furrowing. "Explain what? Aren't you the event planner who was hired to surprise her?" My jaw dropped. Event planner? I blinked between them, my eyes bouncing like a confused spectator caught between two versions of reality. He froze. She froze. And then I realized I was the only one in motion. The only one whose world was collapsing in real time. Event planner? I repeated, my voice barely more than a whisper. The woman turned to me, genuinely puzzled. You're his client, right? The girlfriend." She glanced at him. "He said he was planning something special for you tonight." His throat bobbed as he swallowed. "Teo, listen." I laughed. Short, broken, a sound even I didn't recognize. "Oh, now I'm Teo again," I said, my voice shaking. "That's nice." I wasn't sure if I'd been promoted to client or demoted to collateral damaged. He ran a hand over his face. "Let's not do this here." I stared at him. "Where should we do this? In the kitchen? In the parking lot? Or in hell, where lies like this belong?" The woman raised both hands like someone caught in crossfire. "Wait, I'm so confused. You told me." Her eyes darted to him, then to me. "You told me you were an event planner, and you were setting up a surprise anniversary dinner for your girlfriend." I corrected quietly. "Our anniversary dinner." The words lodged in my throat like knives. I turned to her fully. For the first time, I really saw her. She was beautiful, not in a threatening way, not in the other woman's stereotype way. Just beautiful. Simple makeup, soft curls, a gentle face. She looked like she loved to laugh. She also looked like she'd been lied to. "What's your name?" I asked, surprising us both. "Oh, I'm Kemi." I nodded slowly. "Hi, Kemi. I'm the girlfriend. The one celebrating 3 years tonight." Her eyes widened. 3 years. I saw it then. The way her shoulders dropped, the way her mouth parted in shock. She wasn't an accomplice. She was another victim. He stepped around the table like he wanted to create a triangle of control between us. "Can we all just sit down and talk?" he pleaded, his voice low. I looked at him properly for the first time since I walked in. This was the same man who held my hand when my dad was sick, who ate my burnt jollof and still said it was smoky, not burnt, who sent me "have you eaten" text like clockwork. Now he wouldn't even meet my eyes for more than a second. "Sure," I said, my voice eerily calm. "Let's sit. Let's all sit in the brokenness you created." We sat, me on one side, him between us like a cheap referee in a match he caused. For a moment, Silence swallowed the table. A waiter approached with a nervous smile. "Ma, are you?" "We're fine," I said, and my tone made it clear we were anything but. He retreated. I folded my hands on the table to stop them from shaking. "Okay," I said, staring at him. "Explain. And be very careful." He took a deep breath, looking at me like a man begging the judge for leniency. "Teo, I was going to tell you," he started. "Things just got complicated. Start from the event planner part." I cut in sharply. "Because that's the most creative nonsense I've heard today." He flinched. Kimmy leaned forward. "I hired him," she said quietly. "That's the thing. I hired him to plan my proposal dinner." My chest tightened. "Your what?" She swallowed. "My proposal. I was going to propose to my boyfriend next month. I wanted something special. I found him on Instagram. His page said he does romantic setups and proposal planning. We've been working together for a few weeks." My heart sank so fast I felt physically sick. "Your boyfriend," I said slowly. "What's his name?" She hesitated, then whispered it. It was his other name, the name only his family used. The one he'd told me never to put on anything official because it was too old school. My stomach flipped. I turned to him, my voice barely steady. "She's lying, right? Tell me she's confused. Tell me there's another man with your exact face and your family name, who also loves to play hero in restaurants." His silence was louder than any confession. Kimmy's eyes filled with tears as realization dawned on her. Wait. You told me you were single," she stammered. "You told me your last relationship ended over a year ago." I laughed again, that same broken sound. "Oh, that's new. Apparently I died over a year ago and nobody told me." The room tilted. I grabbed the edge of the table to anchor myself. He finally spoke, his words tumbling out. "I never meant for it to go this far." "What did you mean to do?" I whispered. "Just collect girlfriends like reward points?" He ran a hand through his hair. "When I met you, I wasn't in a good place. You know that. I was still trying to fix my life. You were the one steady thing in it. And then what?" I cut in. "You got bored of steady and went shopping for chaos." He winced. "I met Kimmy at an event I was actually planning. She was fun, easy to talk to. It wasn't supposed to be serious. I didn't plan to hurt anyone. That's the problem with you," I said, my voice suddenly cold. "You never plan to hurt people. You just do it and then act surprised when they bleed." Kimmy wiped at her cheeks. "So, everything you told me was a lie?" she asked him, voice small. "All the late nights, all the I'm working on a client's event." That was her. She looked at me. "That was you." I nodded weakly. He'd say he was on set or working on a concept. Sometimes he'd even send me pictures of candles and rose petals. I thought he was practicing. I didn't know he was rehearsing on someone else. Tears blurred my vision. I blinked them away angrily. "How long?" I asked. The question tasted like acid. "How long have you been with her?" He hesitated, and that was answer enough. "Just say it," I snapped. "Rip the bandage off." 8 months, he muttered. My mouth fell open. Eight months. Our 3-year relationship flashed through my mind like a cruel montage. The weekends he said he was with his cousin. The random gifts he said Brand sent him. The times he was too tired to talk. 8 months. That wasn't a mistake. That was a parallel universe. Kimmy pushed back her chair slightly, as if she needed physical distance from the truth. 8 months, she repeated, stunned. "You let me plan a future with you for 8 months while you had a whole other life." He buried his face in his hands. The music in the restaurant changed to some slow love song, as if the universe had a sixth sense of humor. A couple at the next table clinked glasses and giggled. Somewhere behind me, someone's phone camera clicked. A story was happening inside a story, and I was trapped in the saddest one. I inhaled sharply. "Okay," I said. "So let's summarize. You are not an event planner." "I do plan events sometimes," he weakly interjected. I shot him a look that could cut through steel. "You are not an event planner," I repeated, "in the way she thinks you are. You are my boyfriend of 3 years. You are also her boyfriend of 8 months. And tonight, on our anniversary, you decided to bring her to the same restaurant you told me we'd be celebrating in." "Wait," Kimmy said, turning to me. "He told you to meet him here too?" I nodded. 7 p.m., table by the window. His words. We both turned to him. He looked trapped, cornered by the truth he constructed. "I was going to fix it," he said quietly. "I swear, I was going to end things with one of you tonight." "One of us?" I echoed bitterly. How generous. Like we're items on a menu. Kimmy let out a shaky breath. Tell me, she said, which one of us were you going to keep? The table went silent. He opened his mouth, then closed it. His eyes flickered between us like he was looking for the right answer on a test he hadn't studied for. In that moment, something inside me snapped back into place. I realized I didn't want to be chosen. Not like this. Not as the winner of a competition I never signed up for. I stood up slowly. My chair scraped against the floor, loud and final. Teo, please, he said, reaching for my hand. I pulled back like his touch burned. Don't, I whispered. Don't say my name like it still belongs in your mouth. A lump formed in my throat, but I swallowed it like poison. I turned to Kimmy. Listen, I said gently. I don't know you, but from everything I've heard tonight, we have at least one thing in common. We believed him. Her eyes filled again. We did, she whispered. We really did. I nodded. What you do with this information is up to you, I continued. Stay, leave, scream, cry, no judgment. But me, my voice firmed. I'm not going to stand here and audition for a role in his future. I looked at him one last time. The man I once thought I'd marry. The man I'd defended, forgiven, and made excuses for. I bought a new dress for tonight, I said quietly. I curled my hair. I practiced my smile in the mirror because I wanted you to see me and feel proud. I thought tonight was about us. I shook my head. Turns out it was about you. Just you. Your ego, your lies, your convenience. Teo, I love you, he said desperately. That's real. What we have is real. If what we had was real, I replied, you wouldn't have needed a backup. I picked up the rose from the table, the one meant to be part of some twisted romantic setup. For a second, I considered crushing it in my fist, letting the thorns pierce my skin the way his betrayal pierced my heart. Instead, I placed it gently in front of him. Happy anniversary, I said softly. Grieve it properly. It's dead now. I turned and walked away. Each step felt like walking through mud, but I didn't stop. My chest was tight, my vision blurry. I could hear him calling my name, chairs scraping, someone gasping. Maybe people were staring, maybe they weren't. I didn't care. I pushed through the restaurant doors and stepped into the cool night air. The sky was ink black, punctured by scattered stars. The streetlights cast long shadows on the pavement. Cars passed. Music thumped from a distance. Life moved on. Uncaring, relentless. I gripped my clutch so hard my knuckles went white. I didn't know whether to scream, sob, or laugh. So I did none of the three. I just breathed. In, out, in, out. After a minute, the door creaked behind me. I braced myself for his voice, ready to unleash whatever broken pieces I had left. Teo, a soft voice called. I turned. It was Kimmy. She stepped outside slowly, her own eyes red and swollen. Is he? I started. Inside, she said. He tried to follow you, but I told him to sit down. I raised a brow despite myself. You told him? She shrugged weakly. I'm done being managed. She walked closer, folding her arms around herself like she was holding herself together. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. The word surprised me. For what? I asked. You didn't cheat on me. You were cheated with me. She gave a sad, crooked smile. I still feel guilty, she admitted. I was sitting there, laughing, excited, planning a proposal, and it was all sitting on top of your heartbreak, like a trap waiting to snap. I swallowed hard. I can't even hate you, I confessed. I tried in there, for a second, but the way your face changed when you realized, I shook my head. You're not my enemy. He is his own battlefield. We stood in silence for a moment, two strangers tied together by the same pain. What are you going to do? She asked finally. I looked down the street, at the cars zooming past, at the taxis slowing down, hoping for a passenger. I don't know yet, I said honestly. Go home. Cry. Block him everywhere. Unfollow his mother before she texts me something confusing. I exhaled. Then tomorrow, maybe I'll wake up and remember I existed before him. She nodded slowly. I think I'll ask for a refund, she muttered, then gave a humorless laugh. Not from you, from the universe. Despite everything, I smiled. You know, I said, in another life, we'd have met like normal people. Maybe we'd have been friends. You'd have invited me to your wedding. I'd have complained about my single life. She sniffed. Maybe we still can, she said softly. Not the wedding part. The friend part. Eventually. I considered it. It sounded insane. It also sounded like healing. Maybe, I said. We exchanged phone numbers, our hands slightly trembling as we tapped on screens. It felt surreal, forging connection in the ashes of a shared betrayal. As we finished, a message popped up on my screen. It was from him. I'm outside. Please don't go. Please. I lifted my head and saw him through the glass, hovering near the entrance, eyes glued to us. For a second, I felt that old pull, the one that said, hear him out. Give him another chance. Love is patient, but love is not stupid. I looked at Kimmy. You want to talk to him again? I asked. She stared at him through the glass, then shook her head firmly. No, she said. If I listen now, I'll start bargaining with myself. I already know enough. I don't need his explanations. I need my self-respect. I nodded slowly. Me too. I opened his chat and typed 3 words. Do not follow. Then I blocked him. No dramatic typing bubbles. No last speech. Just silence. Kimmy did the same on her phone, and we both let out shaky breaths at almost the exact same time. A taxi pulled up near the curb. I'll be okay, I told her, more to convince myself than her. Not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But one day, I'll think of him and feel nothing. One day, she echoed. For both of us. We shared a brief, awkward, but strangely comforting hug. 2 women who walked into a love story and discovered it was a maze built by a coward. As I slid into the taxi, I glanced back one last time. He was still there, standing behind the glass like a ghost trapped in his own reflections. For a moment, our eyes met. I didn't feel satisfaction. I didn't feel revenge. I just felt done. Where to, madam? The driver asked. I gave him my address, then leaned my head against the window as the car pulled away. The city lights streaked past, blurring into lines of gold and white. My reflection hovered faintly on the glass, mascara smudged, lipstick faded, curls starting to fall. I looked nothing like the woman who had walked into that restaurant a couple of hours ago. That woman had walked in believing she was about to be celebrated. This woman was leaving, quietly choosing herself. My chest still ached. Tears still burned at the back of my eyes. I knew the nights ahead would be heavy. Memories replaying, questions looping, loneliness echoing in the spaces where he used to call. But somewhere beneath the hurt, a small, stubborn part of me was grateful. Grateful, I found out now, before marriage, before children, before mortgages and family pictures and anniversaries stacked like lies. Grateful the truth unmasked him in front of me, instead of behind my back. When I got home, I kicked off my heels and stood in the middle of my living room, staring at the silence. Our photos were on the wall. His hoodie was on my couch. His toothbrush was in my bathroom. Evidence of a life we built together on a foundation I thought was solid. I walked to the wall and took down one frame. Then another. Then another. I didn't smash them, didn't tear them. I just placed them face down on the table, one by one. Not erased, just reversed. For now. My phone buzzed with messages. Friends in the group chat, asking how my romantic anniversary was going. I stared at the screen. My finger hovered, then moved. I'll tell you tomorrow. Tonight, I just need to breathe. I put the phone away, changed into an oversized t-shirt, washed my face, and crawled into bed. As I lay in the dark, tears finally spilled. I cried for the girl who believed a man could be her home. I cried for the woman who had to pack up and leave that home in one night. I cried for all the promises that turned to dust under the bright lights of a restaurant where love went to die. But as the tears slowed, a strange calm settled in. This was not the ending I'd planned, but it was an ending I could live through. And maybe one day, when the sting fades and the scars turn into stories, I'll sit with someone, maybe a friend, maybe a stranger, maybe even you, and say, I walked into our anniversary dinner and saw him with someone else. What happened next shattered me. But it also set me free. And on that day, I won't cry when I say it. I'll smile, because I'll know that losing him wasn't the worst thing that happened to me that night. The worst thing was believing I couldn't live without him. And the best thing? Walking out of that restaurant and proving myself wrong. Thank you for watching this episode on Mr. Joe's exclusive stories. If this story touched you, remember, sometimes the deepest heartbreak reveals the strongest version of who we are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional, life-changing narratives that inspire healing, courage, and kindness.